Thank you so much for being with us on your 21 Alive Plus this Wednesday afternoon at 3. I'm Sawyer, and we're going to cut right over to meteorologist Caleb Saylor here in our 21 Alive Plus studio because, Caleb, there is a First Alert Weather Day beginning tomorrow.
Yes, so this is a little bit of a change from the past couple of days. We've been talking about, okay, Wednesday looking impactful, and then we actually dropped that First Alert Weather Day on Monday because today, not too bad. We've also been talking about Friday as one to watch as well. However, we've got some changing weather situations on Friday that looks like it's going to limit the heat. So right now, it looks like the most impactful day from the heat is going to be tomorrow. So tomorrow is the only First Alert Weather Day this week. It's going to be hot. It's going to be muggy. We're talking heat index that feels like temperature above 100 degrees for pretty much everybody across 21 country. And the main impact is for people who have to spend a long period of time outside. It's going to be hard to cool off. You're going to want to find ways to cool off because it could very easily cause you to overheat if you're out gardening, if you're somebody who has to work outside, things like that. So we just want you to keep that information in mind as we head into tomorrow. That's why we've been issuing these First Alert Weather Days for the heat many days in advance, because we know sometimes you watch, sometimes you don't, sometimes you miss that information, and so we just want to make sure we're covering all of our bases. And we can actually see that dome of heat, that big area of temperatures above 90 degrees here on the map. I want to take this full screen just so you can get a really good look at things. Peoria, 92 degrees. St. Louis, 95 degrees. Hutchinson, 93 degrees. Joplin, 92 degrees. Evansville's at 90. So those 90-degree temperatures just lurking off to our west. That's going to slowly creep in over the next coming hours. And ahead of the heat moving in, the National Weather Service has issued a heat advisory that begins tomorrow at 11 a.m. and goes until 8 p.m. Their criteria is similar to our First Alert Weather Day criteria of 100 degrees or so. So we have high confidence that we're going to see a heat index at, if not above, 100 degrees for tomorrow. But let's talk about tonight. We've still got several hours to go left in your Wednesday, and it's going to be a fairly comfortable evening. Seasonal, but not too bad. If you're heading out to the Muddy River Concert Series out at Promenade Park tonight, free concert series, starts at 6 o'clock, ends at 8. Temperatures are going to be in the upper 80s for a good chunk of that time frame, dropping down into the low 80s by 9 p.m. The big thing to note here is it's going to be very sunny, so keep that in mind. You might want to try to find some shade. Drink water while you're out there, but you don't have to worry about the umbrellas tonight. Conditions are going to stay dry. Now, we've been talking about the heat, high temperatures in the 90s. Well, that's not what's really driving that feels like temperature up. Yes, it is going to feel very hot, but we want to add in that humidity because that's a really big factor in this. You can see our muggy meter is in the excessive range, as high as this chart goes. So the humidity, the amount of moisture in the atmosphere, is really going to be increasing tomorrow and into the weekend. So that's what's driving that heat index, the feels like temperature, into the lower 100s for pretty much everybody across Northeast Indiana, Northwest Ohio. But this heat extends into southern Michigan, into central Ohio, all of Illinois, pretty much all of Missouri. So I would argue that if you're going anywhere within 300 miles west or south of Fort Wayne tomorrow, you're going to be experiencing the same heat that we're going to experience as well. So you're not really going to be able to escape it, unfortunately. And this is labeled as a major heat risk, according to the National Weather Service. Really, this major heat risk is in place for just tomorrow. But what exactly does that mean? Well, that means that people who have a difficult time finding ways to cool off and hydrate, they're really going to be impacted the most by this heat tomorrow, as well as people who, like I said before, they either have to or they want to work outside. Those are two demographics that heat stress is a higher risk tomorrow. So you want to take extra precautions for tomorrow, plenty of breaks in the shade, drink plenty of water. I also want you to keep in mind this information I like to share pretty much every time that it gets hot, is the signs and symptoms of heat exhaustion versus heat stroke, because this could well save somebody's life. So knowing the differences, right? If you have a throbbing headache from spending time outside tomorrow, if you stop sweating, if your skin gets red and dry, maybe you start throwing up, you have a rapid, strong heart pulse, you may lose consciousness. If you see somebody who loses consciousness tomorrow because of the heat, you need to call 911 right away. But if they are lesser symptoms, just faint or maybe dizziness, excessive sweating, somebody sweating a lot, muscle cramps, that's a sign of heat exhaustion. So steps you can do to prevent heat exhaustion, or at least lessen the impacts from the heat. Just go inside, find some AC, drink some water, cool shower, or use a cold compress to cool off, and keep those pets in mind as well tomorrow, because when we've got temperatures at or around 90 degrees, the pavement can get really hot. We're talking temperatures anywhere between 115 to 135 degrees. So paws can burn in mere minutes in those types of temperatures. So if you take your dog for a walk tomorrow, keep it limited to short walks, maybe on grass. That way your pet is nice and safe, but still getting a little bit of exercise. I want to fast forward to the future heat index for Friday. Notice all of that yellow, whoosh, just a big rush of yellow moving in. That's cooler feeling temperatures. The heat index is expected to top out in the low to mid 90s tomorrow. Still warm, but well below our first alert criteria. And the reason being is because we're tracking our next weather system that's expected to move in late Thursday night, overnight into Friday morning. So we're tracking rain showers, thunderstorms. That's going to bring in some cooler air with it. Not super duper cool, but cooler. And the rain is going to help keep things cool as well. So the timing of this weather system is really, really important to the fact that we're not going to feel as hot on Friday, but Friday brings with it its own problems of having to deal with the rain showers. Unfortunately, it looks like we're going to be dealing with rain for a good chunk of the morning, and then it's going to become fairly hit and miss throughout the afternoon, and then continuing into your Saturday as well, hit and miss rain showers and pop-up thunderstorms, Sawyer. So that's what we can expect for the rest of the work week.